What's up, people? Joe Winko here, your favorite Hawaiian guy, and here's my next episode of Joe Winko Talk. So, this is going to be a personal episode of Joe Winko Talk. It's not going to be anything morbid or gloomy, but it is going to be a tad bit negative because it's something that's been angering me lately that I really been wanting to talk about to vent, really. That's why I'm doing this episode of Joe Winko Talk. However, there is going to be some adult topics discussed in this video, so if you're under 18, you shouldn't watch this at all. Just giving you guys a heads up. So, there's one thing about me that makes me stand out from everyone. That's my trademark, really, besides being shirtless. It's my red pointy bandana. Now, those of you who've been watching me for a very long time will all know that I wear my red pointy bandana in almost all of my YouTube videos and in all of my selfies, too. It's my trademark, and I really been wearing it since I was a little kid because I always thought that that's the way people wore their bandanas in the pointy shape. But then eventually, as I grew up, I realized that people don't wear their bandanas like this. So I kept wearing it like this because I thought it was cool and I thought it made me look unique. And over time, I became proud of it, really, because it's like the one thing that makes me stand out, really. If you see a tall, skinny, shirtless guy in a red pointy bandana, you're going to think, oh, that's Joe Winko. That's his trademark. That's what he wears. And that's how people are able to tell that it's me, really. I mean, if you know who I am, you'll know that it's me. So that's the thing. Like, that's why I always wear it in all my selfies all the time. And another really cool thing about it is no one ever tries to imitate it at all. Like, I never seen anyone else wearing a bandana the same way that I wear my bandana. I never seen anyone wear it in the pointy shape, and no one ever says, oh, that looks cool, I'm gonna wear it like that. And that actually gives it even more, I don't know what word I'm looking for this, but that even makes it more exclusive to me that no one ever tries to imitate it at all. That it's just something that strictly only I wear, really. So that's why I love wearing the bandana, and that's why I always wear it in all my YouTube videos, and that's why I always will wear it in all my YouTube videos and in all my selfies, too, because it's my trademark and it's how you know that I'm Joe Winko. So that's why I always wear my bandana, and that's why I'm proud of it. However, an overwhelming majority of people I interact with online do not agree with me on that, really. I mean, whenever I go on Grindr or any other dating site that I'm on, because I'm on a whole bunch of dating sites, I actually did a whole YouTube video of every single dating site that I'm on. Whenever I go on a dating site and I have my pictures posted, guys always tell me how stupid I look in the red pointy bandana, and they always bash me on it and insult me on it. I mean, even a few weeks ago, I was talking on the phone with this one guy, and he tells me, oh, Joe, you should stop wearing the bandana. You're such a handsome guy. People can't see how handsome you are when you're wearing the red pointy bandana. And then I was just there going like, what the fuck do you mean by that? I mean, it's not a mask. It's not covering up my face. You can see my face. It goes around my head. And then he tells me, well, Joe, it does cover up your face because people automatically point their attention to your bandana and they don't even notice how handsome you are because you're wearing that bandana. And then I mean, I didn't say this out loud to him, but I was just thinking to myself, okay, if someone is that simple minded that they don't even notice anything else about me besides my bandana when they see a picture of me. I don't want to have anything to do with someone that stupid, really. I mean, I think that's the most ridiculous thing ever. And you know, the thing is, he's not the only person who's told me that. I had other guys email me too and say, Joe, you're really handsome. You should take off that bandana so people know how handsome you are. I mean, it's not a fucking mask. It's not going over my face. You can see my face. I mean, that's the most ridiculous thing ever. Almost like I'm living in the damn Twilight Zone, really. Well, I always feel like that, honestly. But that really gets on my nerves, and the thing that sucks about it is, like, a lot of guys always bash me and reject me just because of the red pointy bandana, but there's so many guys who hate on me because of the red pointy bandana and always try to talk me into not wearing it at all, and they always tell me how stupid it is. Now, I really hate it when people try to change me because I have a very strong sense of identity, and I think that comes from me having autism, but I'm proud of who I am, and I'm proud of what I look like, and I'm proud of what I became, really. It may not seem like it, but I am proud of who I am. And you know, the sad thing is, there's so many people who can't say that about themselves, but I for sure can say it about myself. And sometimes I even think that that's probably the reason why they always bash me, because I wear the red pointy bandana. But let me show you some more examples of that. So, as you guys all know, I mean, I haven't really been out much this past year, and I've been in this house like the whole entire time, and I really been wanting to get away. The good news is I have gotten the coronavirus vaccine because I was in the coronavirus vaccine trials. And I recently just found out that I got the real coronavirus vaccine and that I actually was vaccinated against it. So I'm safe from it now. And I was really happy about that. And I really been wanting to get away and go somewhere else because I always love to go on a long adventure, and I'm tired of sitting up in my bedroom and tired of being at this house and tired of being at Florida for so long. I mean, don't get me wrong, I love Florida and I always wanted to live here, but I really want to go somewhere else and get away from here, really. But the thing is, I currently have no way to get away from Florida. However, I do have this ad posted on Craigslist. This one right here. Let me show it to you. Okay, so that's the ad I posted on Craigslist. I was basically looking for a stranger to go on a long road trip with, because I've done that before. That's how I found the stranger who took me to Arkansas. And then there were also strangers who brought me to Texas and California, but I didn't find them on Craigslist. It was mainly the stranger who took me to Arkansas and Ohio and Virginia, who I found on the rideshare section of Craigslist a few years ago. But I've been wanting to get away again, really. And I actually did find one person who replied to that ad and who took me on a drive through the back roads of Florida. And I actually have that whole drive recorded. I'll have the link to it in the pinned comments, the link to that video, if you guys want to see exactly where we went. But besides that, no one else replied to that post I made on Craigslist. And I was a bit frustrated about that because I really been wanting to get away. But, I haven't found anyone on there who would want to take me on a long drive, really. And I remember I posted about that on this one site called Reddit, and I actually been kicked off of Reddit because I wasn't getting along with people there. I mean, I had too many haters, and when I was striking back against them, they ended up kicking me off of Reddit, but I don't really care. That site's awful anyway. But getting back to what I was talking about, I posted a picture of that ad on Reddit, and I was trying to ask, are there any more sites that I can post to? and no one was answering my questions at all. They were just telling me all the stuff that was wrong with the ad, like the fact that I'm shirtless in all the pictures makes people feel uncomfortable. And I'm like, how the hell does that make someone uncomfortable? I mean, tribal members in Africa and tribal members in South America, and even some North American tribal members, they always have their shirts off. There's nothing wrong with a guy being shirtless. And then one bitch asked me, "Oh, well, are you an African tribal member?" And I'm like, no, but I am the descendants of African tribal members. So, well, I guess you can say that I am. I mean, yeah, whatever. But the comment that stood out to me was this comment, and let me show it to you guys right now. I have a picture of it right here. Here it is. Okay, as you guys see right here, this is the comment. "I've seen your ads on Craigslist before. I'm in the Clearwater area myself. Post going back at least 3 or 4 years." Wow, thanks for throwing that in my face. He's talking about my post on the personal sections of Craigslist, because I recently just started posting on the rideshare section of Craigslist, but I used to post on the personal sections of Craigslist a lot, looking for a lover and partner who like to drive and go on road trips too. But getting back to this comment, he typed, "Going back at least 3 or 4 years, I understand you're autistic, but your post always weirded me out. Update your pics, put some clothes on, ditch the bandana. Hope this helps." And then I replied to him saying, "There's no way in hell I'll ditch the bandana. I'll light myself on fire before I do that. And why would I take advice from a guy who was too stuck up to talk to me anyway? Get real." So that's what I told him, and it's absolutely true. I mean, I'm not going to ditch the bandana. This is my trademark. I'm proud of this. If you don't like it, it's your problem, not mine. But the thing is, it's just that an overwhelming majority of people I interact with online don't like the bandana at all. And, you know, to be honest with you, that's probably a good thing, really. Because if everyone liked the way I looked and everyone liked the bandana, there's a chance I could run into someone really bad and it could not go so well. But it just gets annoying, really, when you get that much, when you get bashed that much for something that you're proud of. And it gets on your nerves, honestly. Like, even this one post on this site called Black Men's Reign, I did a whole episode of Joe Winko Talk about Black Men's Reign. I did not have a good experience on that site. If you guys want to see that episode of Joe Winko Talk, I'll have a link to it in the pinned comments. But here's one comment I got on a post I made on Black Men's Reign. I was saying that I was a single 23-year-old in Florida looking for a lover and partner. I know that says looking for a slave, but that's basically what they called a lover and partner on that site, really. And then one person typed in, "If you take that red scarf off, they might take you more serious." Okay, first of all, it's not a red scarf, it's a red bandana. But I replied to him and I said, "No way, I stay true to myself. You know how long I've been wearing that? And also, any slave who is stupid and stuck up to be with me just because I was wearing the red pointy bandana in all my selfies and videos is seriously not worth my time." Okay, let me just clarify that again. When I say slave, I really mean a lover and a partner. I'm not really... I mean, that's what they all... It's just something that they use on that site. It's not like anything to be freaked out over. But that's what I meant by slave, really. But, you know, that's the truth, really, that I've been wearing this thing for a super long time. I'm not going to stop wearing it just because a bunch of weirdos think that I look ridiculous in it, because I think it looks really cool. And I'm only trying to impress one person, really. I mean, I don't care if someone doesn't like me because of the bandana. I mean, it's more that I'm mad that I can't find someone who likes me in the bandana, really. That's mainly what it is. But I actually have found people who think the bandana looks really cool on me, really. And, I mean, the person who drove me through the back roads of Florida thought it was a really cool look. He said that he never seen anyone wear a bandana like that. He was telling me that while we were driving through the back roads of Florida. So that counts as something. And a lot of my YouTube followers think it looks really cool on me because that's how you know it's me. But it just pisses me off how people on dating sites always bash me for that. I don't want to stop being myself. I'm proud of who I am. But, yeah, it's mainly just that I have difficulty focusing on the people who like the bandana versus the people who bash me because of the bandana. But that's technically a problem that I'm going to have to work out by myself, really, to be honest with you guys. But I just felt like venting about it in this episode of Joe Winko Talk. And that's not all. There's actually more. Let me show you guys. So as you guys all should know by now, I live in Florida with my adoptive dad's brothers. And luckily, they're spending even less time at the house because they definitely know that I do not like being around them, and they really do not like being around me either. So one of them left the state to stay at his girlfriend's house, and I'm very glad about that. He's been gone since May of 2020, and I hope he never comes back at all. I hope he stays away. And the other one spends, like, literally every single night at his girlfriend's house. And nowadays, I'm actually starting to notice that some days he doesn't even come back to the house at all. So I'm really glad about that, too. And I hope he never comes back either. So it's mostly just me by myself at this house, really. But I remember on Grindr, I had on my profile that I was looking to live with a nice guy who was a bottom, who would want to be my lover and partner, and who would want to suck me off a lot. I mean, that's what I had on my profile on Grindr, that I was looking to live with a guy who would want to be my lover and partner, basically. I mean, it's exactly what the straight married couples do, so why can't I do it also? And then I had this guy message me. Let me show you his messages right now. Right here. Okay, he tells me that he lives in Spring Hill, Florida, and then he says, show me what I can suck on, and we will go from there. But that hat has got to go first. And he was referring to my red pointy bandana, because I wear that in all my pictures on Grindr. I mean, in all my pictures on every dating site I'm on, it's always a picture of me wearing the red pointy bandana, because that's what I wear in my YouTube videos. My YouTube videos are a dominant part of my life, and that's who I am, and that's what I'm proud of. Yeah, I don't wear the bandana all the time. I mean, it may seem like I wear it all the time, but I actually don't wear it all the time. Only when I'm on camera, or only when I'm taking a selfie is the only times that I wear it. But I replied to his message, and I told him, no fucking way. I've been wearing that bandana for years. It's my trademark. And let me show you guys what he told me next. Let's go to this next picture. By the way, you're pretty judgmental for a cross-dresser. Oh yeah, because that was another thing. On his profile, he said that he was a cross-dresser. And you would think that a cross-dresser wouldn't be so judgmental about a guy wearing a red pointy bandana. I mean, you would think that they would just think nothing of it, but let's move on. Then he tells me, you look like the Klan, but you're Latino. Was just confused. Have a spare guest house. Was going to offer it, but never mind. Okay, first of all, I'm actually not Latino. I'm actually just mixed with a whole bunch of stuff. But I'm not Latino at all, so that's one stupid move that he made. And then I replied and I said, good, I don't need to live in a roach-infested place anyway. And I forgot to screenshot his next message after that, But he sent me a mean message and he said, "You are the most disgusting and terrible person I've ever talked to. I don't want you to live with me. Fuck off, asshole." And then he blocked me before I could reply or screenshot the message. But then he blocked me. And I actually thought that was hilarious because the fact that he got so pissed off that I told him that I don't need to live in a roach infested place anyway, he probably does have roaches. And that's a good thing about where I live, because I don't have any roaches at all, so I'm very glad about that. But the fact that he got that angry at that message that I sent him, it definitely tells me that he probably does have roaches. So, that goes back to what I was saying earlier about the bandana scaring people away, and about the bandana, making people not want to talk to me at all. That's a good thing, because it probably filters out some bad people from entering my life who I don't need in my life at all anyway. So yeah. Alright, let's move on. So, there's another site that I've been trying to find a lover and partner on, and it's a site that I spend quite a bit of time on, really, that I haven't had hardly any luck finding a lover and partner on. And this site is called fetlife.com. I definitely have done videos about this site before, and I definitely have posted a lot about this site before. But yeah, this site is fetlife.com. Fetlife.com, for those of you guys who don't know, it's basically like it kind of reminds me of Facebook, really. It's a site where you're able to, it's a site where people are into like the dominant and submissive kind of sexual relationships. The reason why I'm on fetlife.com is because a few years ago I was typing in this one gay web form that I was looking for a boyfriend who's okay with the fact that I don't suck penis at all, and who was okay with the fact that I can't take it up the ass at all, that I was a total top who doesn't suck penis and can't take it up the ass. And because of that, everyone kept typing to me, "Oh, well, you need to find yourself a submissive guy. You should sign up for fetlife.com." And ever since then, I've been on fetlife.com trying to find a lover and a partner. But there's an interesting way that fetlife.com works, and I never really explained this before until now. Basically, on FetLife, you can't really search for individual members at all. Like, I can't search for gay guys living in Pinellas County, Florida. I wish that I could, but I can't really search for guys that way. So how it works is that there's a bunch of groups on FetLife that you can sign up for and that you can join. And they're kind of like Facebook groups. You join these groups on FetLife and you can post on them. And I join like tons of groups on FetLife. I mean, there's a bunch of local groups. Like there's a group for gay guys who live in Florida and gay guys who live like in different parts of Florida. And I joined all those groups and I make posts on them. But I never been able to find any guys who live in Florida on FetLife who are interested in me. So I started joining some groups in other states like Mississippi, Alabama, Georgia, and South Carolina, states that I've been wanting to visit, and Texas, Arkansas, and Oklahoma, and even all the way out in California, and even all the way up in Montana. And I've been posting posts on those groups on FetLife, and I haven't really had that much luck with those either. And basically how it works is you make a post on FetLife, but then you can bump the post, because every single time a person comments on a post on FetLife, the post gets moved to the front page of the group on FetLife. So that's why I always bump my posts. And if you go on any of my posts on FetLife, here's a picture of one of my posts on FetLife right here. Now, if you scroll through my posts on FetLife, you'll see the times where I commented on it and bumped it and typed, "Still looking for this, still looking for this, still looking for this." And that's basically what all my posts on FetLife look like. And if you guys are following me on Twitter, you guys would have saw this picture right here. Let me show it to you guys. Okay, there's that picture of me standing in front of a beautiful tropical gothic style mansion with not a very happy look on my face. But wait till you read the comment under this. Okay, here's what it says. The house that Joe Winko would be living in, fully paid off by himself and fully furnished, if he was given $1 for every single time he typed and commented, still looking for this, on his boyfriend request post on FetLife.com. And then I added in parentheses, gotta find humor in this somehow. You know, the funny thing about that is that's absolutely true, because I type that so much on all my posts on FetLife, and I make so many posts on FetLife all the time, trying to find a lover and a partner there. That's not the only site that I go on. That's definitely not the only site that I look on, because I'm on tons of different dating sites. But I've been trying to find a lover and a partner on FetLife for a really long time. And just letting you guys all know, I mean, like, I'm open to finding a guy, like, how do I explain this? I mean, if I found a boyfriend, he doesn't have to find me on FetLife. I mean, how I always preferred for a boyfriend to find me, or for my lover and partner to find me, I don't really like the term boyfriend because it doesn't sound as romantic enough as a lover and partner, really. How I always imagined a lover and a partner finding me is he finds my videos on YouTube and he starts watching all of them and he gets to know me that way. And then one day he actually sends me an email and says that he wants to meet me, and then we figure out how to do that. That's how I always imagined it, really. That has never happened at all. But that's how I always imagined it, really. But then again, that has never happened. But that's how I always wanted it to happen, really. I was thinking about making a Sims 2 series about that one day. But getting back to what I was saying earlier, that's the thing. I never had any luck on FetLife either. And let me show you guys an example of someone bashing me because I wear the red pointy bandana in my post on FetLife. Here's a conversation that I had with one person on FetLife a really, really long time ago. This is like from year 2018 or 2019. Let me show it to you guys right here. It's from a long time ago, though. This is nothing recent. Here it is right here. Okay, here's what it says. I've seen your post here on FetLife and on Craigslist for a long time. I hope you take this the right way, but I really think you'd find more success if you lost the red bandana shaped into a cone. It stands out so much that it makes people worry that there is something wrong with you mentally. I have never seen anyone wear a bandana in that shape of a cone, so I guess you're after a unique look. But people can be afraid to meet someone that is that unusual. I mean, okay, let me just say one thing real quick. It's definitely not the weirdest thing I've ever seen on FetLife. I've seen stuff much more unusual than a red pointy bandana, and I might have brought this up in this conversation, but let me continue. You're an attractive guy. I'm just suggesting you try some pics without the red cone on your head and see if you start to generate more interest. And then I replied, I wouldn't want someone that judgmental. I wouldn't want someone that judgmental anyway. And when I post pictures without the bandana, people usually steal them and pretend to be me then. Oh, you know what? That actually has happened, because I might have a picture of that somewhere, but this one guy I became friends with on Grindr who lives in New York City, I mean, he came down to Florida to visit, and we hung out with each other. It never really went anywhere. We went out to eat at Burger King, and then we went back to his parents' house that he was visiting, and we watched my Sims 2 horror movie, Carolina Maniacs, together, and he thought it was really cool. He lives in New York City. There was a guy in New York City who was using a picture of me without the bandana on Grindr, and he was pretending to be me. I know I have a picture of that somewhere, But my friend who lives in New York City told him, like, he said, I know who that guy is. That's not you. He's actually a model who lives in Florida. And I actually love how my friend called me a model. Really, I thought that was really cool. And he was even saying that a bunch of guys were saying that his pictures were fake and everything. And I just thought it was so stupid that someone was actually using my picture and pretending to be me. That's another cool thing about the red pointy bandana, because no one ever, when I take a picture of myself wearing a red pointy bandana, it can be a really nice picture, and it looks really cool. Like, to me, it looks really cool. But no one ever takes any of my pictures of me wearing the red pointy bandana and makes fake profiles of me and pretends to be me. That's one thing I notice. Like, if someone takes my picture and uses it on like a site and pretends to be me, because that has happened before. That's not the only time that happened. It's never a picture of me with the red pointy bandana. That's what I always notice, and that's why I wear the red pointy bandana in all my selfies online, because no one's going to take that picture and pretend to be me at all. So let me continue with this conversation. And also, just for the record, everyone who's into the BDSM scene has something wrong with them mentally. Okay, and that was a bit judgmental for me to say it like that, but for example, like, I have autism, and I don't, like, when I say everyone in BDSM has something wrong with them mentally, that's what I meant. That they probably have some condition like autism or ADHD that causes them to think differently from normal people. I mean, I'm not really saying that they have something wrong with them. I mean, the people who bash me and insult me have something wrong with them because they have nothing better to do with their time except that. But I don't mean that people in the BDSM scene have something wrong with them, really. Some of them do, but not all of them. So just wanted to throw that out there. And then here's what I said next. It's a given fact, dude. In the past 4 years I've been on FetLife, I've seen much more fucked up and disgusting and strange stuff that people out there are into. Much more bizarre than a skinny, shirtless Hawaiian guy with a pointy red bandana. You think I'm strange and unusual? Keep looking at other profiles on here. Oh wait, okay, here's where it continues. You think I'm strange and unusual? Keep looking at other profiles on here. It definitely won't take you very long to find someone who's much more whack than I'll ever be. The sad thing is that's actually kind of true on FetLife. I mean, there's a lot of really disturbing stuff on FetLife.com, really. I mean, nothing really interesting enough for me to talk about. Well, the thing is, I don't really spend... I mean, back then, I used to spend a lot of time looking at people's profiles, but there's some disgusting stuff on FetLife, and nowadays, I hardly ever look at other people's profiles on FetLife. I just put my post out there. I just bump my posts so people are able to find them right away, so they're on the first page of the groups on FetLife. And I just wait for someone who wants to talk to me and wants to get to know me. That's what I do on FetLife. That's what I do on every dating site, really. I don't really make the first move very often. Every now and then I do, but most of the time I don't make the first move very often, really. But let me continue. But anyhow, if a guy seriously doesn't want to meet me because he thinks I look weird in my bandana, a YouTube trademark that I've been wearing for years, that just shows that he's clearly a judgmental idiot who I don't want to be bothered with anyway. I'm actually a far cry from desperate. That's kind of the reason why I haven't had much success. Okay, that is true. I definitely am not desperate, and that's probably the reason why I haven't found a boyfriend yet, because if I really was desperate, then I would listen to everything that these people are telling me. I would take off the red pointy bandana, and I would try to fit in and not be myself at all. But, I would be miserable if I did that, and there's no way in hell I would ever do that. I would rather be dead than not be myself. And I mean that from the heart. I would rather be dead than not be myself. I will stab myself in the heart before I change to fit in. Seriously. Now, let's continue. But in all honesty, I'm better off. I'd light myself on fire before I try to be normal. That's what I just said right now, but you guys get it now, even back then. Yeah. And the really stupid thing about that is, a couple weeks after that whole conversation we had, I later on found out that that guy who sent me that message, who said that I should ditch the red pointy bandana and try to be normal. I mean, later on I found out that he actually secretly had a girlfriend, and that he was on that site looking for guys to hook up with, and that he was cheating on her. And I just thought that was wrong, and I wouldn't want to have anything to do with a guy like that anyway. And therefore, I'm definitely not going to take advice from a guy doing that anyway. So, yeah. But whatever. Now, here's another example of a guy on FetLife bashing me for the red pointy bandana. And I know what some of you guys are going to say. You guys might say, oh, well, he wasn't bashing you. He was just telling you that you don't look good in the red pointy bandana. It doesn't matter. I take that as bashing. This is something I'm proud of. If you don't like it, keep it to yourself. But whatever. Okay, here's what he said. So this was actually a response to a post I made on FetLife, how I was upset that a bunch of guys were like, telling me that I'm too nice to be a master on FetLife. It's a whole long story, but the main thing that I wanted you guys to pay attention to is what this guy replied and said here. Okay, one other thing. I looked at your pics and have good news and bad news. The good news is that you're an attractive guy who can pull off the dom front. The bad news is that headscarf. It makes you come off as an unserious and not someone in charge. You can get offended as you please, but someone needs to tell you. And then I replied to him and I said, that is strictly your opinion, dude. Any guy who's judgmental enough to reject me because of that isn't even worth my time in the first place. I guess that answers everything for you. Because, it kind of pisses me off when people say that, really. I mean, I wear a red pointy bandana. Get the fuck over it. Seriously. I mean, if you don't like it, that's your problem. Really. But it just gets annoying when so many guys, bash me on that. And, I never talked about this in my YouTube videos before, but I think the reason why it's getting to me so much right now is because I spend so much time at home and I want to get out and I'm trying to get out. That's why I'm posting on all these sites trying to find a way to get out. But then I find people bashing me about the bandana. And people have bashed me about the bandana before, really, and I just never really cared about it so much. But I think it's the fact that I'm trapped at home all the time, wanting to get away. It's like putting salt on a paper cut, really. Imagine if I had no paper cut on my hand, like I do right now, and someone is pouring salt on it. It wouldn't really do anything. But if I did have a paper cut on my hand right now, and someone is pouring salt on it, it would burn and it would hurt and it'd feel really bad and I'd be pissed off about that. So that's kind of the analogy that I'm using. That's why nowadays it's been angering me so much that people online are bashing me about my bandana, because I've been wanting to get out of this house, really. But that message that he typed kind of pissed me off, really, because I was looking for a lover and a partner, or a submissive lover. I mean, in terms of FetLife, which is what I kind of need. I need a guy who's a bottom, really. But then they keep telling me, oh, you can't be a master because of the red pointy bandana that you wear. I can wear whatever the fuck I want to. Get the hell over it. But it's just upsetting that so many people are that judgmental just about this. Really. I mean, get the hell over it. Gosh. Another thing that I wanted to mention was I forgot to screenshot these messages, but there was this one guy on Adam for Adam. That's another app that I'm on. It's another gay dating app that I'm on. This one guy messaged me on Adam for Adam, and he said, "Oh, I've been seeing you on dating sites for years. I even remember you back when you were living in Wisconsin. You're still wearing that red pointy bandana." And this was pretty recent. This was a few weeks ago. And then he started telling me, "Oh, you're too old to be posting these stupid pictures online. Do you have any idea how stupid you look in all of your pictures? No one is going to want you at all. They didn't want you back when you were younger, and they're definitely not going to want you now." And, you know, it was really pissing me off hearing all that. Like, as I said earlier, it was pissing me off because I'm trapped at home, wanting to get the hell out, and getting all those mean messages. That's the reason why it was pissing me off. I mean, if I would have been like on a road trip somewhere and I opened up my phone and I saw those messages, I wouldn't even have thinked twice about it. But the fact that I was at home in a house that I wanted to get away from, and that asshole was sending me all those messages, it got me pissed off and really angry, and I just blocked him and just moved on, really. I forgot to screenshot the messages, though. If I would have knew back then that I was going to be doing an episode of Joe Winko Talk about it, I would have screenshotted all those messages, but I forgot to at that time. But I'm pretty sure you guys are getting the point. But in case you guys haven't, here's like the final straw that struck a nerve with me that inspired me to talk about this in my next episode of Joe Winko Talk. There was this one guy from England. He was messaging me on FetLife, and he was telling me that I was like really sexy and that he likes my pictures. And, you know, the thing was, me and him were not compatible at all, because on FetLife, I have myself listed as a master and a top, and on his profile, he also had himself listed as a master and a top, and he was asking me, have I found anyone yet? And we were talking to each other, and I'm not going to show our whole conversation. I'm just going to show the last two messages that we sent to each other, because that was the point where it all went downhill, really. Let me just bring those up right now. Okay, here it is. Now look at what he said here. Okay, there could be one guy who is exactly what you're looking for. There are lots of false guys on here. And so what if they're looking at your cock? Oh yeah, he was telling me that I should post pictures of my penis on my profile on FetLife, which I actually ended up doing. I mean, I'm old enough to do that, so, and I'm not ashamed. I don't mind showing that off either. But I just got a little bit angry because I didn't want that to be all that guys like me for, really. Okay, then he types in, "Take it as a compliment and play along with them. You're 23 years old and have your whole life ahead of you. You have been blessed with good looks and a lovely body." Alright, and I highlighted the one part of his message that struck a nerve with me. "Get rid of your old pictures and reinvent yourself as a serious total top master, and they will be on your knees begging for you." And you know, when he said that, I knew what he was talking about right away, because in almost every single one of my pictures on FetLife, I'm wearing the red pointy bandana, and that struck a nerve with me, because I had enough of people bashing me about the red pointy bandana. But, you know, I think after I'm done talking about it in this episode of Joe Winko Talk, I mean, whenever someone bashes me about the bandana again, I'm just going to laugh and take it as a joke, because, I don't know, it feels better talking about this and letting it all out instead of keeping it all in, really. But, here's my reply that I sent him. "What do you mean, get rid of my old pictures and reinvent myself as a serious top master? That's what I already am, dude. I mean, that's how I think of myself, and that's fine with me. I mean, the whole, like, being a master and everything, I mean, I'm not really that much into it. I just wanted to find a guy who was okay with the fact that I don't suck cock and that I can't take it up the ass, and who was fine with me being the top, really. But I just have myself listed as a master on that site, so no one thinks that I'm submissive at all, because that's one thing I'm definitely not. Definitely not submissive, if you guys haven't found out yet, really. But it's true, really. I mean, it's stupid that they're trying to change me, and I hate it when people try to change me. They should just fuck off and worry about themselves instead. And which is going to bring me to my next point. Let me keep reading what he typed to me. Okay, then apparently that struck a nerve with him, and then he sent me this message. This is what he said to me in his last message. Now listen to me, you little wannabe. You're a kid trying to be in a man's shoes. So don't dare speak to me like that ever again, okay? I was about to tell him, I'll talk to you however the fuck I want to talk to you, asshole. And then he types in, I wouldn't want to get with a skinny little runt like you anyway if you paid me. Why the fuck would I pay him? He's 58 years old, but I'll be getting back to that soon. And as far for the handsome part, you're far from handsome, but I thought, well, nobody wants you at all, so try to inflate his ego a bit and give him some confidence, because by God, you certainly need confidence with what you have to offer. Now, little boy, go crawl back up inside your asshole. Wait, what the fuck did he say? Arsehole or something like that? I don't know what the hell that word is. Like the piece of shit you truly are. And I was about to tell him off. I was about to reply to his message, and I say, oh, I'll talk to you however the hell I want to talk to you. And, okay, now, he blocked me, so I can't reply to his message, so I'll just tell you guys what I was going to say back to him, because I was getting ready to type it all out, but then the notification came up that he blocked me, and I couldn't send him any more messages. I was going to tell him, first I was going to tell him in his reply to me, don't you dare speak to me like that again. I was going to straight up tell him, I'll talk to you whatever the fuck way I want to talk to you, asshole. That's what I was going to say to him. And then next I was going to tell him, dude, you're 58 years old, and you're still here on FetLife looking for someone exactly like I am. The only difference is you're a lot older than I am, and you still haven't found anyone yet. So why the hell would I take advice from you, someone who's just as unsuccessful as I am? Now, I may be a runt or a kid. I mean, I'm not really a runt. I'm 6'3" and 140 pounds, so that's not really runt size to me. I mean, I'm not sure what he thinks of that, but that's not really the size of a runt to me at 6'3" and 140 pounds, but whatever. But, that's the stupidest thing ever, really. I may be young, but I'm smart enough to know that at least. And to be completely honest with you guys, I'm not exactly that young. Well, I guess depending on what perspective you have. I'm actually 25 years old. On my FetLife profile, I have that I'm 23. The only reason why is the same reason why I put that I'm 20 years old on Grindr instead of 25. Really, so people don't bash me for not having a car or my own place. It's not because I think 25 is an old age, really. I mean, because you're not old when you're 25. Plus, 25, 20, and 23 are the same damn things in my opinion, so whatever. I still look like I'm 20. Here's a picture of me from when I was 20, and I haven't really changed at all, really. So, yeah, that's the thing. But whatever, really. But yeah, that's the thing that I wanted to talk about in this episode of Joe Winko Talk. It just pisses me off. I mean, I guess it's the whole fact that I'm at this house wanting to get out, so I'm not really in the best situation, really. So that's what causes me to be even more upset about it, that the fact that I want to get out and the fact that I want to leave. And then I have people bashing me, telling me that I look stupid in the red pointy bandana. And I just hate how people are trying to convince me that I'll have everything I want if I change who I am. Because even if I did change who I am and got everything I want, it wouldn't be good anyway. I mean, that whole Backroads of Florida video. Can you imagine that video if I would have been dressed normally sitting in the passenger seat? I wouldn't have liked it at all because it's honestly not Winko enough without the bandana. I'm proud of the bandana. I like wearing the bandana. And no one should be trying to talk me out of not wearing the bandana. Because I think that's fucking stupid. And I'm not going to listen to it. And the more people try to talk me into not wearing the bandana, the more people try to say, oh, Joe, that bandana looks stupid on you. You shouldn't wear it. Take off that bandana. People will like you then. The more that's gonna make me want to wear it, because I'm gonna be like, hell with you, I'll wear whatever the fuck I want to. Because I will. And I do. And I'm proud of that, really. That's not the reason why I wear it, though. I mean, I wear it because I think it looks cool, and it's who I am, and it's what makes me stand out, really. But yeah, that's the thing. And I really need to focus more on the people who like the way I look in the bandana, because there are people who like the way I look in the bandana. The stranger who drove me through the back roads of Florida, he said that he never seen anyone wear a bandana like this before, and he said that he never seen anything like that in his life. But he did tell me that I look like a garden gnome. That is one thing that I hear pretty often. People tell me that I look like a garden gnome. But, that kind of makes me laugh. I was really going for more of the magic warlock look, really. But that's what he told me. And even the stranger who invited me out to California in year 2019, he thought that the red pointy bandana looked really cool, and he even took a selfie with me in front of the Golden Gate Bridge. And that's one thing that rarely ever happens. People rarely ever take pictures with me, honestly. But he did, and I thought that was really awesome, because I felt like a movie star when he did that, really. I love that picture, honestly. But, that's another thing, really. When people bash you and insult you for being different, I mean, I think everyone should embrace what makes them unique, and should embrace what makes them different, honestly. And when people bash you and insult you for, I mean, this is just an example, for the bandana, or it could be anything, really. When people bash me and insult me for the bandana, I just always try to think to myself, when I finally find someone who likes the way I look in the bandana, and likes how unique I look in the bandana, that's just going to make me appreciate that person even more. And that's just going to make me see how much of a special person that is, because they like the way I look in the bandana. And yeah, that's the thing. I mean, they're a very special person, because everyone else may hate me in the bandana, but the one person I do have that likes the way I look in the bandana is really all that matters, really. Yeah, like the stranger who invited me to California. Or the stranger who took me on the drive through the back roads of Florida. Or the stranger who brought me to Texas back in March of 2020. They liked the way I looked in the bandana, and they thought it looked really cool. They thought it looked interesting. They said that they never seen anyone wear anything like that before. Even when me and my adoptive parents went to Claremont, Florida, back in March of 2019, one woman walked up to us and she said, I just have to say, I absolutely love that thing you're wearing on your head, because I wore the bandana while we were eating out at Cracker Barrel, and she walked up to me and she told me, I just have to say, I never seen anyone wear something on a hat like that before. That looks really cool, the way that you're keeping it up and everything. It looks really cool on you. You're a trend starter. That's what she told me. And I kind of chuckled a bit because, as I said earlier, no one really ever tries to imitate me wearing the red bandana. But that just makes it even cooler because that just shows that it's strictly my trademark and everything, really. It's just like this one statue I made in SimCity 4. People always tell me to take off the red bandana, and then I ask them, how the hell would you tell who was riding that horse then in my SimCity 4 statue? Or in this one statue I made in The Sims 2, how would you be able to tell who that statue is? I mean, clearly it's me. Who else would it be? Because no one else wears a bandana like that. And that's something that I'm proud of. It's something that I came up with. It's something that no one ever tries to imitate at all. And it's something that has Joe Winko written all over it. And it's strictly mine. And I'm proud of that, really. And anyone who bashes me on that isn't worth my time. It just gets a bit frustrating when you have so many people telling you that you don't look good in the bandana and everything. I mean, only under the right circumstances. The fact that I'm at this house wanting to get away, so I'm already upset about that enough. And then people telling me, oh, it's the bandana, you don't look good in the bandana, take off the bandana. And I'm like, no, I want to wear the bandana. It is mine, and it's not going anywhere. Which is absolutely true. So that's basically it for this episode of Joe Winko Talk. Please let me know what you guys all think about it in the comments. I hope you guys all liked this episode of Joe Winko Talk. I will admit it was a tad bit out there, but if you guys been watching me on YouTube long enough, it shouldn't be anything that surprises you guys too much, really. So don't forget to like, don't forget to comment, don't forget to subscribe, and don't forget to like me on Facebook and follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and Tumblr. So that's it. Peace out, people.